Good morning. I want to talk to you real briefly about how I get the peace that I have. God speaks to me in dreams. If this goes off, you can finish watching it on LaShonda Cherie Flanders, my YouTube channel. Okay, God speaks to me in dreams, and on May the 16th, He gave me a dream concerning the situation. The end of May, I got my paperwork. I tried to get the dream just interpreted on the 16th when I reached out to 3 different people, and they gave me some good, insight on what the dream might have meant. So moving forward, I got my paperwork at the end of the month. I was devastated. The next week was June the 1st. I was in my home office working, and God said, I need you to revisit the dream. Okay, I didn't have the dream. I typed it, and I sent it to other people, but my phone be doing stuff, and I had to delete it. I reached out to someone. They sent me the dream, and God said, I want you to reach out to this specific woman of God. She is going to tell you exactly what the dream means. I reached out to her. She was extremely busy, so she wasn't able to help me right then. She said, I'm going to call you back in a couple days because I need to really go before the Lord to see what He's saying to you concerning the dream. She reached back out to me. She said, I need you to be sitting down when I interpret this, when I give you what the Lord is telling me. I reached out to my mother, put on 3-way as my witness. Now in the dream, me and my daughter, my ex was putting sand in the front seat of my car and seashells in the back where she was. We was riding. I stopped and asked this lady for directions. She said she didn't know. I got on it's like my car was on some roller coaster rails, and we start going backwards. Okay, so it said all this to the woman of God, and on the day she got ready to interpret the dream, she said, I need you to be sitting down when I tell you what the Lord is getting ready to tell you. Okay? She started interpreting the dream. She said, this is a vicious cycle that you guys are going on. It's like you're on a roller coaster ride. And the dirt represented the control that this person had over you, and the seashells represented the fact that he wanted. The dirt also represented that he wanted to do harm to you, but the seashells represented he didn't want to do harm to your daughter. I was like, whoa. So at the end of the dream, she said, now God said you made some promises to him, and he kept his end of the promise, but you never kept your end of the promise. And remember, guys, I told you guys that in May 2021, when he was trying to kill me, I told the Lord, if you let me go, if you allow him to let me go this time, God, I will let it go. And I didn't. So that's the promise that I broke. God said he kept his end of the promise, but you did not keep your end of the promise. He said, now this time, if you want to live, you can't go back. Now, that just did something to me because, baby, I want to live and not die. And that's how I got the peace that I have. Yes, there's a lot of stuff going on. Yes, I'm still processing everything that's going on. I'm not an iron tin man, I still hurt and I move on. But the fact that the Lord said, if you want to live, you can't go back. So I just swallowed that, and I kept moving forward regardless of what came my way, how discomfort I felt about anything that was going on with this situation. That was my peace. That was my peace, that I want to live. I want to see my children. I want to see my grandchildren. I will be remarried again. I'll be in hiding until my spouse finds me, but I want to live and not die. So I chose to let it go. I mean, the person had already, let it go. He had let it go, but it was a struggle for me to let it go. So I had to let it go. It was one of the hardest things, but when the Lord said that to me, honey, it's like I found some strength that surpassed all understanding, honey, and I was able to let it go. Because when he said that, it meant that if you did let it go, something was going to happen to you. And not saying that that person was going to, bodily injure me. I don't know what would have happened, but I just chose to live. So that is how I got peace in the midst of all this chaos. That's how I don't look like what I'm going through. That's how I'm able to walk and know that I'm going to be okay and that I'm going to live, because God said, if you want to live this time, telling you that there's been several times where I should have let it go, but I couldn't let it go. But this time, girlfriend, if you want to live, girlfriend, you got to let it go, sugar, boom, boom, boom. So I just chose to let it go. I chose to let it go. I chose not to fight for it or to keep running back and begging and please, baby, please, please, please. It just is what it is. Everybody, let's move on. Keep this ball rolling. No hard feelings. No love lost. Just got to move forward. So I just encourage you on today. If God is speaking to you, if God is speaking to you through dreams, if he's speaking to you through a man or woman of God, be able to have an ear to hear what the Spirit is saying. And be strong enough when we go through stuff, especially in a marriage. It's difficult to let go. But when God himself come to you in a dream and tell you, baby, you need to let it go, you got to let it go. So I'm saying that to you. When somebody come to you with a strong word and you know within yourself that you're hurting, you're in pain, you're suffering, this could be detrimental to you, whether it's your job, whether it's a relationship. If the Lord or somebody's coming with a strong wording that's confirming what you already feel, we got to have the strength enough to let it go. That's one of the problems that we have as women. We hold on to stuff so tightly. And even if we see a glimmer of hope in a job, in a relationship, in a friendship, in anything, we'll still try to make it work. We'll try to savage the relationship. But in this season, we got to learn how to let it go and move on. And not just move on, have peace about the situation. Now, the peace that I have, it didn't just come all overnight. I had to work for it. Everything that you do in life, you got to work for it. If you want to eat and you starting a new garden, you plant the seeds, you still got to wait. You got to water them. You got to check on them so that you can eventually feast on your hard work. It's hard work, but it's obtainable. Every day I got up and I would say positive words of affirmations over myself, and I would remind myself what the Lord said. I'm going to live and not die. Yes, I'm hurting. Yes, I'm struggling, but I'm going to live and not die. Friday, I was at Elijah Huntley's Exodus Cry revival, and the man of God said, I got a word for you, Lord, the niece. He said, the Lord said that he had to break your heart in order to detach you from the person. Because the Lord knew that I just did not know how to let it go. So everything don't be the enemy is what I'm trying to get you to see. Some things is God doing it on your behalf. He would rather have your heart broken than you to be in a shallow grave, because there's still purpose over your life. So we can't just blame everything on the devil, because it's not always the devil. It is the Lord's hand maneuvering situation that you don't even understand. Not taking anything away from the person that I was married to, but it was God that maneuvered and made it happen the way that it happened so that I could move forward in the work of the Lord. And that's what I continues to do. And I pray that that's what you continue to do. So you guys be blessed, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. And I will be talking about them waffles and spaghetti tomorrow, girl. Bye.